All right, ready? We got it. Okay, all right. Welcome to the Creative Masterminds podcast.
What's happening, y'all?
You got Shawn in the house.
And Cass Thrive. What's popping?
Yes, sir. And you know how we do. We start with the week in review, and then we hop into the subject. The subject for today is your inner circle, being mindful of your inner circle, and auditing your inner circle, and also how to network and meet new people that will help inspire you and help you become a better person in general in life. So you know how we do, as usual. It's kind of weird because I'm looking up at you guys because I forgot my tripod. That's my bad. But anyway, we're going to do what we do to make sure that we get you guys inspired. And so we got the camera at the...
We adapt to situations, son.
Which is something that you have to do in life in general. So anyway, point is, so let's go ahead and get back to the topic. All right. So yeah, you already know how we do. Cass, Thrive, start with your weekend review and tell us what you did for this past week.
Yeah, man, I had a good week. Spent time with the boys and wifey. My son, he actually graduated kindergarten.
Oh, so, right. Yeah. Congrats on that.
Appreciate it. We went to his graduation and all that. So they kind of did it backwards. They're going to have field day the last day of school.
Oh, man. I remember field day.
Did y'all have it the last day of school, though? I thought
they had it like
a week before or something. So.
Yeah, like that's when you knew that school was over. It's a wrap. That the teachers just basically, they're checked out already. Like, all right, I'm done with you little bastards. I'm done. And so you guys, I can't wait for your parents to just take care of you guys because I'm done with you guys. So
they just put movies on.
Yeah. They check out. So yeah,
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, but I think maybe it was like at the end. Maybe I think they did it one time at the end after graduation. But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so that was cool, but I thought, they do field day and then you do graduation like the last day and let them go home. But
oh, man. You took me back to field day, though, man. I remember the nachos and having the fanny pack. Had a fanny pack. Mama gave it to me, you know what I'm saying? Then gave me some money. I gave my nachos and hot dogs or whatever, man. Damn.
I remember the events like the races and all that. I wanted to be the top
races.
Dog.
Yeah, beating everybody, beasting every tug of war.
Yeah.
Man. To be a kid again, man. No bills. All right, anyway, my bad. Cut you off. Okay.
No, that man, so that was good to see him excelling and doing good in school and moving on. And also over the weekend, it was a big fight, the Deontay Wilder in Brazil. We watched that with the fam. That was a great fight. He knocked him out first round, so that was cool. And then Sunday, my niece, she had a birthday party, so I went there and DJ for her and got the party crunk and hype. So that was fun. And besides that, man, just enjoyed the weekend. Knocked out my classes and the training, personal training, and all that. So it was a great week, man. And ready to get on this podcast. How about yourself, though?
For me, man, you know me as usual, do my music stuff. So really this whole weekend I had it to myself. My wife went on a retreat in, not in LA, but like actually in the Coachella area, but she flew, from Dallas to LA, and then she went to that whole Coachella area. And it wasn't like Coachella, of course, but it was like some type of a house that was in that area. And so they had like a women's retreat. And so like 32 plus women there. And so she got in tune with her womanhood and fell in love with her womanness and stuff like that. And
hopefully they didn't bash us too bad, the males.
Nah, I don't think so. It was more so. I think it was actually very beneficial. I can tell like a difference I can tell a difference from her coming back. I can feel like she's like more in tune with her womanhood and actually more proud to be the full woman that she is. And so
nice. It's
really dope to see her like that transition in her mind. It's just I can see that it was a very beneficial weekend for herself. And so so I had the whole weekend to myself, and so with that I just turned the house into a bachelor pad, even though of course I'm not a bachelor, but it was a makeshift bachelor pad. So I was eating out 3 days in a row and just rapping and making music and stuff like that. So I had the homie come over.
Yeah.
On Saturday, shout out to JJ3K. I'm going to keep calling you that until you accept that name.
What up, boy?
Yeah, JJ3K came through. We just spit some bars and we just took it back to like our old school ways where we were in when we were in high school and we would go to my crib and we would have some Rudy's chicken on deck. And then my homie L Love, RIP to L Love. and he would cut our hair, and we would play video games and just rap. And so we took it back to that, and that was like very very fun, just getting back to the rapping stuff. And so we made some pretty dope tracks or some dope concepts, and we did like a pretty dope freestyle. Or I know I did like a pretty. I was very proud of my freestyle that I did. I kind of rapped it a little bit on my Instagram, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put it out, whatever. It's like, me going back to it's a lot of Oak Cliffness, and I love it. So we did that, and then I worked on my website, my photography website, which is just about done for real. Like, it's done, really. It is done. I just need to add one element to it, and that will release it to the world. So the photography website is done, and that will be launched next week for sure.
Nice.
Can't wait to get that up and popping. Then I'm going to work on my music website. And so the whole plan is to have ShawnBreeze.com be the landing page for me, for the brand of Shawn Breeze, and then people can then go from there to see my photography, or really more so media services. And then you can go to my music, and then probably some other miscellaneous stuff that I'm working on. And so, yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool website. I can't wait to continue to build it. And, yeah, man, just been trying to become better and just more and more focused, listening to a lot of Nipsey Hussle interviews and being more inspired, listening to his words and his wisdom, and, trying to become a better person in general. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop into the subject, which is, again, being mindful of your inner circle, and also networking to increase your inner circle so you can become a better person in general. And so this was inspired by How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I've been listening to that audio book, and I've been getting a lot of good game, and actually have been able to implement a lot of things that he speaks about in that book, and it has worked. Like, me going to the gym, and like one thing in the book, it tells you to do if you're trying to win friends over is to smile at people, and of course be courteous and say hello. And so one thing for sure is I did that. I started to smile at people. I would go to the gym with a mean mug, like I'm a cold ass dude. Like, I don't know, I'm not sure why I would do that, but I would just go to the to the gym with this attitude in my head, like in this some other place, whatever. But I decided to lighten up and just actually start smiling to people, saying hello, saying what's up, and also talking with people. I actually had like a nice cool conversation with this young lady who talked about her travels, and like her and her boyfriend went to Asia, and so we kind of talked about that, like, oh yeah, I've been to Thailand. She's like, oh, I've been to Japan. Like, okay, that's pretty cool. So that was pretty cool and stuff like that. And so yeah, man, just like, trying to increase my circle. And so, because I know a part of my success will come from me networking with people, me talking with people. So I'm just trying to get into a habit of actually talking with people, networking with people, and just meeting more people, and so I can increase my network. And so, yeah, that's what inspired the topic. So, Cass, what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I mean, with any type of business venture, or just even from before then, when you're a kid, like networking and just being friendly, that can only benefit our lives and our experiences, because that's what life really is all about, our experiences. And, of course, the better experiences, some by ourselves or whatever, but it's usually when we're with other people and we're laughing with other people and engaging with other people. So, networking is definitely important, and plays a role in our success with business, with whatever our lifestyle may be. So
True.
I feel that's supremely important, because it's like the 6 degrees of separation or whatever. So that's just an example of like who could have you at a party where you meet somebody else who knows somebody else, which eventually is your wife or something or whatever.
That's
so
a good point. Actually, that's very accurate as to how I met my wife. You was
about to say what had happened.
I was about to say what had happened was, but like, yeah. So how I met my wife was through my cousin. She had a happy hour event with her coworkers, and so my wife worked with my cousin. And so I went to the happy hour birthday event for my cousin, and of course she was there. And so we ended up talking about, traveling. And at the time I was like really, really knee deep into Spanish. I was like a beast in it, and I'm becoming better at it. I'm still practicing here and there, but I'm trying to become more consistent with that. but that's another thing. But anyway, so we talked about Spanish, music, traveling, and we bonded from there. And then we just kept seeing each other. And then like, hey man, let me take you out on a date. And she's like, okay. And so the rest is history. So yeah, the point. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So I mean, yeah, that goes from relationships to business, and and that intertwines, because some people you meet at the office or somebody that's just a business partner, it can turn into like a best friend or whatever. But there also are some, and I guess that kind of goes in with like the inner circle or whatever. Some people are just meant to be like acquaintances. And,
that is true.
So it's important to fill people out and see where the place that you want them in your life, and where not just they benefit you, but you benefit them also, so.
No, that's a very good point with you saying that you want to be mindful with where you want that person to be in your life. You want to just be mindful, like, all right, what role does this person play? Like Cass says, how does this person benefit me? How do I also benefit this person? Where do we come, together and just benefit each other? And then also like, of course, you want to be mindful of like in ways that this person does not benefit you. So like they say, if I talk with a person who's like, a regular 9-to-5er, and I talk about my entrepreneurship, and then they kind of down talk entrepreneurship, I'm like, I'm not really supposed to be talking about this. I'm not really supposed to be talking about entrepreneurship with this 9-to-5er, because the 9-to-5er won't really understand what I'm going through as an entrepreneur. And that's perfectly okay. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You do have to be mindful of that for sure, in people's situations and people, just people positions, and see how they really do benefit you, and the similarities that you guys do have, and the things that you don't. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and in that type of situation, you got to know like where to draw the line, and where a relationship or communication with certain people doesn't bring you down and get you out of your mindset and your goals, and progressing and reaching the heights, the levels, the goals that you have in mind, and that you feel that you were meant to do. Because we're all born and here for a reason. We all have gifts, and the whole goal, the whole the force behind what we do should be to reach our goals and to achieve what we're supposed to do, our purpose. We're supposed to reach that and share that with others, and help them do that as well. And you want to be around people on that same level, that same frequency, same mindset, but not all the time, because you might encounter some people that aren't on that level, and that you can help them and pick them up. And then there might be some people on a higher level of understanding or success that can help you, but it shouldn't be about dragging people down to our level or to their level. It should be always about getting better, improving ourselves. That's just my take on it. So
no, that's super true. Like you said, like it's cool to have people around you that you are helping them out. But yeah, you absolutely want to make sure that this person is not draining you and causing you disruption within your life, and then which will put you in a compromised position where you're not able to really achieve what you want to achieve in life. So yeah, you gotta be very mindful, very careful with that. But while you were talking, it made me think about this interview I just saw with Shaggy, of all people. It wasn't me, that guy. But anyway, he talked about like this past year how he has decided to remove people from his inner circle because he realized he wasn't really being inspired by people in his inner circle. And he talking about like he had this very fire line of saying that if you're your circle of friends, like if you're in this group of friends, in a circle of friends who aren't really benefiting you or inspiring you, then you're more so like in a jail of friends or something like that. I forgot he said it in a way better way, but the point is like, if you're around people who aren't really a benefit to you, and they're not, helping you become a better person, then you're just really doing yourself a disservice, and then you're really allowing yourself to be in a compromised position where you're just not in a good position to achieve in life, because you're around people who are taking away from you and not adding to you. And that's, you want to be around people that add to you for sure.
Yeah, and they have that mindset that in their own endeavors and their own journey in life that they're going out reaching for new things, experiences, traveling or whatever it may be. But
Mm-hmm.
they bring back when you are away from them and you come back together, they have something, some good energy, something to share with you that can open your mind up and make you want to pursue more and all that. That's like
That's
a
true.
positive, a good, a healthy relationship.
That's
You
true.
know.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. I can't even add anything to that one.
But the opposite would be is if it's like, it's negative and it's like pulling you down. It's like, damn, it's like I don't even want to be. It's like, yeah, like probably what Shaggy was saying is like you're captive. Like,
Yeah.
who nobody likes conversations or whatever when you're talking with somebody, whatever, and you feel like captive or like where it's draining you, it's pulling you down. It's like, dang, how can I get out of this? You like trying to, scratch your way under the fence or whatever, trying to get out of there. But that's life though, and we need to take it for what it's worth and be mindful and aware that these are situations that we get into and how it makes us feel, and what can we do to experience that the least as possible. Because life is, it's on a time.
Yeah,
We don't. It's a time capsule. Well, not a time capsule, but it's a time limit.
Yeah, it's a finite amount of time that you have here on this earth.
Yeah.
And so you want to be mindful with how you use your time. And if you use the majority of your time being around people who are detrimental to you and just your ability to be the best version of yourself, then you are doing yourself a disservice by wasting your time that you have here on this earth, because we all know that tomorrow is not promised, and that tomorrow you can get hit by a bus. I'm not wishing that on anybody, but that can happen. So you always just want to be mindful of, all right, how am I spending my time? Am I spending my time in the appropriate way? It's like me. It's like I go back to when I was in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to knock with girls. Not with girls, but that sounds crazy. Get with girls. You know what I'm saying? And just really wasting my time. And I was doing that really as a way to distract myself from my purpose and from my goals. Whenever it was a point in time in my life where whenever shit get real in life, I'd be like, all right, let me hit up Tinder, let me get on Plenty of Fish, let me get on OK Cupid, and let me get one. And so and I realized that was not doing me of any service, and that I was just really just not circling my wagons, but I was just like spinning in motion, hamster wheeling it, or whatever, how you want to say it. But I wasn't really being productive. I wasn't really moving forward in life. But it wasn't until, of course, I settled down with my queen that I started to really move forward and project myself in life, for sure. So with that said, yeah, you want to be mindful of the people that you're around, and you just don't like be a person who just take anybody into your circle, for sure, because that can be very detrimental. You do want to feel people, for sure, and filter people and make sure that the right people are around you. I would say that, for sure.
Most definitely. And yeah, I mean that and it's also like what you said earlier about you know, you have certain things that you speak to certain people about,
That's
certain
true.
relationships, you keep it on this level or whatever and about this rather than about this, like with the entrepreneurship to somebody that does a 9 to 5 or whatever. It's, you talk about hooping, you talk about working out with them, but not that type of thing. So, it's just about being aware and having that energy, that mindset that you're gonna get the things done that you need done, and have a process and strategy of eliminating those things that hinder us and those things that take away from us achieving what we want to achieve, because our environment plays a big role in it, but
That's true.
a lot of it, the majority of it, is upon us and the decisions that we make and how we handle situations that we go through and experiences. So,
No, yeah, absolutely true. Maybe I'm trying to think of a way. I've been trying to think of a way for a person to practically identify the people of value to them if they aren't sure if a person is of value. My idea is to, like, if you usually kind of go into, like, I usually go into like holes where I'll just like somewhat close myself off from the world to a certain degree, especially like when I'm in music mode. When I'm in music mode, I'm like, okay, I'm like really out to my own world. I'm going somewhere else. I'm trying to create something, right? And so, but usually when I come back and then if I talk with a person and it's like very refreshing and I feel like rejuvenated and replenished and like energized from talking with that person, that is usually a sign to me that that person is of great benefit to me in my life and that I should make sure that I keep this person in my circle. But if you go back, come back, and then this person is like, depleting you and like you feeling like disgruntled being around this person, then odds are this person may not be a good fit for you in your life. And of course, you want to make sure that you don't just like do that off of that one conversation. You want to probably want to have some conversation with that person some more, and really get a feel for that person, like to see if the relationship is really something that's solid, that's really helping you. And then if it's not, you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure that you in a good position to live your best life for sure.
Yeah, man, I think that's a great way to do that, to just raise your awareness. And that's the whole thing, like be mindful of the conversations that you have and how you feel. So I think that's
true.
That's the key thing, is your feeling after dealing with somebody, or and the way, the actions that are taken. Are you giving to them, they're giving back? Is it a one-sided type of relationship where you're always having to bail them out, or always having to come to their aid or whatever? And then, or if it's the other way, where you calling upon them just because I'm in a sticky situation or whatever, so it's just being mindful and aware. And that's the key thing, because we have so many distractions day to day and all that, and it's not easy. It would be amazing to be able to see how much throughout the day that I am aware, and how much I'm just out there just
That's funny.
caught up in the world, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's good for us. It's good for right now that we're even talking about it, and we can think about that and recognize that doing that even slightly will make our lives better. Any type of change, even just a little bit, it's not going to be probably a huge change at first. This is something that we have to work at. This is daily, hourly, like mentally or whatever. It's something that takes time, but being mindful of it and setting a goal that you're going to continue to work at and all that, it will improve our lives. So
that's true. Yeah, you said a super fact when you said like just being mindful of it. And it kind of made me think about something that maybe slightly off the subject, but it's like, with goals or tasks that you want to complete in general, or whatever, like, so, or especially like a big task that you want to complete, you one of the most key things that you need to do to make sure that you complete that task is always just be mindful of it. And of course, it's not, you can't put people on like to-do lists, but you gotta have some type of method to keep things at the forefront of your mind, that make sure that you always give the important things the proper attention, so you can so you can give the important things the proper attention. I just say it like that. And so very good point, man. Very good point, man. Very fire. Okay. Anything else you want to share about auditing your inner circle and just being mindful of your inner circle and the people that you want to let in, and also meeting new people? Well, maybe we can talk about like tips that you use to meet new people and to bring new people into your inner circle. I think people could really benefit from that.
Yeah, like you said, being friendly. I mean, that's numero uno. We all know that. Like, that's just being friendly. Smiling, of course, and just asking questions. What was it? I think it was in the book, The Art of Persuasion. It was like, it was foam, or it was something. It was 4 things, just to like open a conversation about. I think it was family. Like, you can ask about family, occupation, activities. I think it was, and and it may not have been foam. That's just what just came to my mind. But it was something around. It was something like that. But just ask somebody about themselves. Their it might have been mantra. So I don't know. But
hilarious. Interesting. That's funny. Hilarious.
But just be friendly, man. Just ask how somebody's doing. Whatever the situation may be, just paying attention to what y'all are doing, and that's the beginning of all friendships, all conversations and all that, somebody asks a simple question, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Like basically what happened, how I ended up talking to that girl about her trip in Asia and everything was because like we kind of had like a brief conversation with her, but just about working out, and she was talking about like working out as a stress reliever. So like I just used that as like as an end, like okay, hey, how you been managing your stress? And then that led to like, oh, I took a trip. And so she had like opened up about the trip that she took or whatever. And so, it's like those methods. And I was about to say another important thing is just like how me and Cass met, go to events that that you're interested in, like,
Yes,
music
sir.
production. We went to that Illmind event, and then we were able to, first bond off of music, but then also bond off of life and how our approach to life is very similar. And so,
That's true.
do that. Go to like, that really does help like ensure that you around people that will really benefit you if you go to some place. I keep looking at the J. Cole poster. I'm not sure if I'm looking at the camera. But anyway, point is, you just go to these different events. So yeah, you guys look at me, I'm looking cockeyed. It's because I'm looking at the J. Cole signature in the back.
And then we got Sade looking at
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm looking cockeyed in the video. So anyway, the point is, yeah, man, go to like events that that you're interested in, and that you will be able to find people who are also interested in the same thing, and then that's very easy for you to strike up conversation because you guys are both interested in the same thing. And while I speak about interest and being interested, I did learn this valuable lesson from the book of How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is like to be more so interested than interesting. So be a person who asks questions more so than try to talk about yourself. Because good. Everybody, is really about themselves, to be honest. And everybody loves to talk about themselves, to be honest. So one of the best ways and easiest ways to connect with people is to allow people to talk about themselves. And once they kind of feel like they can talk about themselves, they feel like, oh man, this guy's a really cool guy. And like the only thing that you guys did was only thing that you did was really allow this person to talk, because most people don't feel heard, and so just allowing people to talk will easily help you be able to get friends easily. I would say for sure.
Yeah, and that's all great, advice and things that we can use, especially for people that are more introverted or extrovert. I really don't like using that kind of categorized type of thing or whatever, but it's just
I get it. Okay.
Just getting out and not staying in. You need to get out and be around other people. The more you do that, the more comfortable you will feel about it, and the more friends you will have. Just getting out and about, and again, like asking questions, just being aware. Forget the nervousness. Be yourself. That's probably the most important thing. Just be yourself.
That's true.
Be honest who you are, and if it's meant for the connection or whatever, it will happen. It'll just come naturally, It's like kids at the sand. What is it? The
playground.
Sand. Yeah, the playground and the sandbox or whatever.
Yeah,
they just automatically, start playing it with each other and all that. As we get older, we make it a little bit more difficult thinking about this and that, or they're not gonna like me because of this. But kids just naturally do it, and that's what I say. That's what it's about.
For sure. And so yeah, man, absolutely. Like to your point of what you're talking about, like a lot of times we just get in our heads a lot. Like that's what I would do when I would go to the gym. I would get in my head a lot. Like I be wanting to talk to people, say what's up with everybody, but then I'm like, what do I say? How do I say it? X, Y, Z. You just asking me damn questions, and it just got to a point where I just told myself, like, stop being a bitch and just talk to people. You know what I'm saying? I told myself frankly like that. And then I just, that's how I talk to myself. I'm not sure if that's an abusive way, but that's how I amp myself up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, what I'm saying? That's how I amp myself up to stop, get myself out of a thought pattern ruckus or a rut or whatever, and then push past something and then really just go after something that I really want to get. And so, yeah, man, very good point, man. Very good point. And so, yeah, man, I think that's really mainly it.
That's funny though that you said it, because it's like society these days, like you can't spank your kids, you can't do this, you can't call yourself that. The police or somebody gonna come after you.
You self-abusing. You're abusing yourself.
Self-abuse.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, hilarious. So anything else you want to add? I think we're good to go. I'm trying to figure out anything else I want to add. I can't remember. I can't think.
Man, I think we gave a lot of good value. And like we said, it's just the process. It's gonna take time. It's something that we got to work at, and just stay in it and keep it up, man. Keep trying. And when we are aware, we may 99% of the day we may not be as focused and aware. We just got so much going on, but just if we have that 1%, at least we have that, and then try for 2% or whatever. We just try to do better, and that's the goal.
Super true. So yeah, man. With that said, this has been the Creative Masterminds podcast.
Yeah,
Fire podcast. Cass, go ahead and give out your socials.
Sure. Instagram is CAS_THRIVE. Also on Facebook, and then the Boxing Bell on Instagram, and also on Facebook as well. So holla at your boy.
Yeah, and holla at me at ShawnBreeze.com. First and foremost, the website is going to be popping. And actually, and just for the record, I am the one who's building the website. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting back into my tech stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a sidebar. So I've been like listening to interviews of, like I said, Nipsey, of course, but then also Nipsey's homie, or his CTO, his chief technology officer, Idris Sandu, something like that. I'm sorry if I got your name incorrectly.
Is he cold?
He's cold. Like he was the one who actually built the Marathon app, and he also was the one who turned the Marathon store into a smart store, which is nice. When like you go into the Marathon store, you'll see like different album or different things like T-shirts or whatever. You'll be able to take the Marathon app and then point the camera at the album art or a shirt, whatever, and it'll play like exclusive unreleased music only at that store. And the thing is, he talked about geofencing, which is basically where you just set up a perimeter around a certain location, and then so you only can be in that location to play that music. And then as soon as you leave that location, you out. You know what I'm saying? You can't play that music anymore. That's so smart, what that did, that reminded me of my technology background, like how dope I was and how dope I am, I'll say for sure. With technology, because one of the things I did while I was in college, actually at an internship, I was able to use this Nintendo Wiimote as like an infrared camera, and then I had like these goggles, and I was able to use a flight simulator, and I coded a program that basically you can do head tracking. So you put on the goggles, and you have the Nintendo Remote infrared camera, and then you just move your head around, and as a pilot in the cockpit, and it'll turn your head left and right and stuff like that. And so it reminded me of like how dope stuff I did like with tech. I'm like, you know what? Like, and the thing is with I say this for sure, like with black people, for sure, like we don't really we consume tech a lot. We don't try to produce or create tech a lot. And so I think that's something that I would like to focus on in the future, is like to produce and create more tech and like code more and do that and use my talents in that way. So that's why that was inspiring me to get back into like building my website and making sure that's super duper legit. And I'm gonna start coding some things too. I'm probably end up coding the app pretty soon, honestly. Just to do it and just get my technology game up, because that is the way of the future. And I say black people for sure need to get more into coding, get more into like just creating and creating technology for sure, because we consume it a lot. We consume all type of technology, but we don't create anything. And so that's one thing that has inspired me. So shout out to Idris for inspiring me. Thank you for sure. Anyway, to the point. ShawnBreeze.com.
Yeah.
IG Shawn Breeze, Facebook OG Shawn Breeze, Twitter OG Shawn Breeze, Creative Masterminds on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, that jazz. So yeah, sidebar, but it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, man. With that said, we are out. This has been the Creative Masterminds podcast. Peace.
Catch you later.